It is 7:51, and we are going to get to a topic we talked about earlier. Children today face a long list of problems ranging from substance abuse, school violence, depression to suicide. And we want to find out more about the 3 virtues of effective parenting from the author Shirley Yuen. Thank you so much for dropping by this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it is called the 3 virtues of effective parenting. And before we get too far into that, what are the 3 virtues?
The 3 virtues are benevolence, wisdom, and courage.
You have a very interesting story how you came up with this, and this is very personal. It was actually through
my daughter, because my daughter showed me her diary, which revealed to me that she was very unhappy with her life. She was only 13 years old, and she was unhappy because her mother did not understand her. And then she wanted to pack up and leave home and go to a boarding school. And that woke me up. And then I started to do a lot of reflection and do a lot of research. But the one book that really got me out of this crisis, was not from the Stacks of Parenting book that I was reading, but from, a book about Confucius that was written 5,000 years ago. But it's about how people relate to each other and to live in harmony. And that's what it's all about with children.
Which can be very trying. I know I'm not a parent, but I know there can be things that really test your patience and wear on you. I see the people at the stores when the kids are throwing tantrums, but when you look back at these age-old sayings, you really can draw something from that.
Oh, yes. That's why we need benevolence. Benevolence is to love your child, not because, the child is lovable, but then you have to love the child to understand the child with compassion. And the reason is because it's like a prerequisite and a foundation for effective parenting. We need to have a calm mind. We cannot be angry, anxious, or too excited when we, want to raise our children. And because that will lead us to wisdom. The wisdom comes, this is a 3-step. It had to be used in 3 steps and together. We cannot pull one out and say, oh, I just want to be benevolent, I just want to be courageous. It has to be like you have to be benevolent to understand and love your child with compassion, and then you have a clear mind to use wisdom to foresee the consequence of your words and your action. A lot of parents do not understand that. Whatever they say, whatever they do, children learn from them. And they're telling the child a different message if they are saying one thing and doing another thing. This is very important. And then after the wisdom, you have to be courageous to carry out that wise decision, even though it might be hard.
A statement in there I read that really hit home for me is that it can be frustrating when the message isn't getting through to the kid. They don't understand what you're saying, but the truth is you don't understand how to get to them. So you have to look at yourself a little bit. Has your daughter responded to this? Oh,
yes, definitely. Our relationship changed so much after I changed. She was 13 years old when she started to rebel. Within a year, we were so close to each other. She's now in college already. But then we still keep very close contact. We treat each other as a friend, which I've said in that book is very important. If your children are, older, you have to start treating them like a friend.
It is a great read, The 3 Virtues of Effective Parenting, and really there are life lessons for any type of personal relationship here, even in the workplace, not necessarily just for parents.
Definitely. If you can, cultivate these 3 virtues, it will be for your coworkers, your neighbors, your friends, it will all work with them.
Shirley, thank you so much. We're working on the wisdom one.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We'll wrap things up on Hawaii's Morning News, let you know what's on tap for tomorrow right after a short break. Don't go away.